So I thought I would do a quick little tutorial of how I made this prosthetic wound. And I haven't done something like this before, so bear with me. I started out by making a loop out of scar wax and blending it out into my skin. The important thing here is to use a lubricant while we're blending it out, like petroleum jelly, which is the most common thing to use for a project like this. I'm just blending it with my finger. I didn't have my palette knife on me. So we're just going to keep blending and blending and blending. The important part is it's going to take you a long time to blend. Another important part of a kind of wound like this is to bring up the edges, make them raised, because you're missing a chunk of skin, obviously. Also, in order to make the wound more realistic, you should be putting texture inside of it, because your skin on the inside shouldn't be looking like skin. It should be looking like muscle tissue raised and kind of inflamed and irritated. So just keep playing around with that. I used a needle of sorts and coated it in petroleum jelly to blend it out, give it some texture. The whole point of prosthetics is just to keep playing with it until it looks realistic. This took me about, I would say, a good 20 minutes of just the build. The painting didn't take very long. Most of this is just me playing with it. Now I'm blending in my skin color. I'm taking a very translucent BB cream-like foundation. This one's Jackie Oats by Lush. And I'm blending it out very lightly with my finger, trying to keep some of the scar wax color visible, because skin's translucent, where it's not one solid color. You want to see many different colors mixed in with it. Again, I'm going in and erasing the edges. Very important for trying to give it that realistic effect. Again, I'm not perfect at this. I'm still learning myself. Now I'm painting the inside. I'm starting with a brighter red color, because as we know, if you get a wound of sorts, it's not going to be a perfect skin color. I went with the brighter red. Now I'm going in with a darker red to add some depth, just spotting it along the edges and where it would be lower within the wound. It's really important to look at reference photos for this. Reference photos of people missing chunks of skin or whatever. So I was following my reference here where I saw it was deeper color somewhere else. Now I'm adding some irritation because it can help mask the blending better. And now I'm dropping in some blood. So what I like to do is I like to let it run around. I'll smear it with a sponge or my fingers, as you see what I'm doing here. I'll let it dry for a bit. I edited out the drying bit, and I'm going to go in with my fingers smeared and take some of it off with a paper towel. So it gives the illusion that there's blood, but you aren't hiding all the painting that you're done. And now I'm going in with my favorite thing ever, Ben Nye scab blood. And I'm just bloodying it up like it's starting to heal, but it's still pretty fresh. That's why I put no greens or yellows in the bruising and irritation to the wound, because I want this to look fairly recent. But again, it still looked kind of dry. I went in and deepened the cut a bit too along the edges, and I'm adding my final bit of blood and letting it smear around, so it gives it that glossy, just cut look. And moving that around with my needle again. And I think that's pretty much it. Just keep playing around with the blood at this point and figure out how it looks. So here's the finished product. I'm pretty proud of the outcome, and it was fairly simple. Hopefully, if you want to recreate this, you have fun trying. Thanks for watching.